Hello guys. Today I'm a little bit reflexive. Um, when you look into Instagram and all that stuff and the life of other people, you tend to forget who you are. You tend to forget what are you doing in this place in the world, and you tend to objectify people and yourself, looking just for traveling and the money and the relationships to show to other people. And meanwhile, everybody kind of knows that, everybody intelligent kind of knows that it's a wrong concept to pursue. Now and then we get this feeling inside of us trying to take ourselves out of our own path because we want to show people that we are successful. We want to see our family members and friends looking for you in a successful way in your relationships, and mostly money, because money can buy relationships somehow, and money, at least relationships that are visible, that are to show to other people, and they can buy the travels and the free time, etc. Not all the time, because sometimes you have to work a lot and have to pay the price. That's the most cases. And when you analyze people and great entrepreneurs, most of them are really passionate about what they're doing. And a lot of times they just do something that's really resourceful and that people really need and they love. Like, if you are an engineer, if you are someone who loves mathematics, who loves this technological, who you are a coder, software developer, and a lot of times you are in a position that will give you a lot of money. But you have to take some risks. You have to have the right personality to pursue that. It's not so easy as it sounds. And when you get old, you tend to realize that it's not so easy to do, because when you are young, you think that it's just a matter of working hard. It's not difficult to actually make money or to make a lot of money. In my point of view, the really hard aspect is to take your personality in this development. And a lot of times you don't have it. You don't have the risk taking. You don't have the entrepreneurial mindset. There are a lot of things you need to work on, and a lot of times you're just pursuing another's life because you were made for other things, and that's really hard to understand. No one wants to give up this idea of getting rich. It follows us whatever we are. Nobody wants to be a middle class. It's not about being poor. It's just about being middle class. A lot of people just understand that they don't want that, and that because they will have to pay a bigger price than they are willing to, and that's a very peaceful life. But a lot of us just wants to find out how can I get rich at the same time as doing what you really love, what you really like, what you really are talented. And a lot of times you're just doing things that are not so obvious. And now you have to choose. You're going to choose something this inner path, or you're going to listen to the outside world and kind of adapt that. But the problem is, when you go to the outside world and tend to adapt, you start getting neurotic. You start getting sad. Your energy is not the same anymore. So what you're going to do? Then you start looking for other people. That's terrible. You look to other people, they look happy, and you are not. You're in your home, then you open your Instagram, you look at people traveling around the world, you look at people having good relationships, and you know logically that life's not like that all the time. It's just showing us the best aspects, but your feels it. You feel that it makes an impact inside of you. You cannot deny that. And even despite that fact, you just want to get rich to have this freedom. Like, for example, if you love something that's not giving you a lot of money, you can just spend your time dedicating yourself on that because you are rich. I'm not saying about being a billionaire, but you are trying to get rich to get this freedom to work whatever you like or whenever you are, and to give to people you love, to have a good relationship without this feeling of having to save all the time on things. And dependently on where you live in the world, you can live in Europe, can live in America, can live in a third world country. It's all about the same in different levels. And I don't know, man. I don't know what to do about that. I don't have an answer for that, because this feeling is a feeling that everybody's feeling. Women and men are trying to get rich in their own ways, whatever they choose the strategy on. And that's a feeling that never goes away. You feel less from someone that have more. And there's a certain limit, because, for example, if you are a millionaire, multi-millionaire, and you look for a billionaire, you kind of not get sad about that, because you feel you're in the same niche. Of course, if the billionaire is going to exclude you purposely, that's not a thing. But if you're rich with rich people, it doesn't matter too much if you have McLaren or have a Ferrari, or you have like BMW. If you get rich, you can get involved with these people, and you feel part of a niche, you feel part of a different culture. If you're a middle class, look for rich people that doesn't save a lot on things that you have to save. You feel differently, you feel less, you feel that you're not so capable because the other guy made more, they have more intelligence to make them money. And that's a sad thing, to be honest, because it's not true, logically speaking. Money is a strategy, is a kind of intelligence to make it. But I know a lot of people that are really intelligent people, and they choose different paths in life that will not pay them the same as someone, which, by the way, a lot of rich people are really, really not intelligent in a lot of ways, and we are intelligent in others. But I can see the less capacity on a lot of people. And for a lot of people, they are intelligent. It's kind of sad to feel that way. It's kind of an injustice, which is not, because there are different strategies. But you cannot simply deny your mental aspects. That's the problem. We cannot simply deny it. Like, I'm gonna be dumber. I'm gonna ignore the things that I love, that I like. But at the same time, I have just one life, and it's not guaranteed you're gonna make money. So it's a long path. It's like years working. The energy goes away. It's not so simple. So that's the dichotomy that we have to work on our entire lives if we are not rich. And a lot of rich people get that. They get in a position which they just have to kind of balance that, and they don't have this worry anymore. They can look for other things, and you feel stuck in a low level, in a different level that they already have worked on, and you feel behind. But in a lot of other aspects, you are in front. But society as itself doesn't value that, doesn't value as monetary as it is, because it can be really, really important, your job. But if you don't work the right way, you'll not take that money that you have the potential from the value that you can provide. There's a lot about scale, there's a lot of things, but I know a lot of people that made it with their passion. As bizarre as it sounds, as some niches, you can make it, but it's not guaranteed. And in a lot of niches, it's really hard if you work on something that it's more obvious, it will work out, and you have to deal with that kind of luck, kind of destiny. And it's really sad to think about that a lot of times. You don't want to be that way. You have this feeling that you have life in your hands and you can guide it to some way or another. It's really hard to cope with that. But I believe that somehow it will work out. And unfortunately for those people, if you try to get out of your path and try to do something that you believe is going to make money, because it's not sure, because it's more mainstream, it's more like it's more logical, you don't have the energy to do it, or you feel miserable. But I relate to, I have a lot of people that suffer from it, and in the future they get back that energy and that mental health that they have abandoned for a while. But I believe it's very difficult if you have a clear mind, because you are not willing to do that. And that's an impediment for a lot of people. That's an impediment for me a couple times, or a lot of opportunities that I've denied because I knew that it was not my path. And I've pursued a lot of aspects, a lot of paths that I didn't have the energy to do as hard as it is and take risks, which is the most important thing, because simply it's not my path, and I don't know, I have no control of it. And it's kind of really sad. It's sad and beautiful at the same time. It's the way it is. A lot of people are trying, but it's not about the competition. It's much more about yourself and the expectations of society. There are a lot of different stuff that people will not give you enough attention, and a lot of aspects of luck and persistence and taking risks and be willing to take risks. And a lot of people have hard times on that, mostly on things they don't like or they don't love. They don't see the value. And this idea of free will is really, the more you study, even neurosciences and Carl Jung as well, you see that you have the choice to not follow your path, and suffer from it, or you have to follow your path. And you do not choose that. You have some rules. You have to, like chess game, you have to play. You have some options, but you have to play that game. You cannot not play that. That's your free will. And you have a lot of opens, but at the end you have to checkmate. And that's very specific if you take a listen to your ancestors, to your ancestry, to your ancestors, everything that's in your mind from millions and millions of years ago, or at least 200,000 years. You listen to that, and your family has a lot of problems that they have to deal with, and somehow it's inside of you, and you have to deal with that mostly. And you kind of don't have option. And it depends on the time. Like if you're in the 1500s, you can have people doing art and being paid for it, being sponsored. And nowadays, you don't have the same open that before for those people. And at the same time, the merchants that were not well respected in the past now are very respected. So it depends on the time we're living in. But the only certainty is that you have just this life, that's one certain, and that you're gonna die, but you don't know how or when. So you have to deal with that. If you're in the second part of your life, like 35, you kind of have to deal with this preparation for your death somehow, which is not bad. It's beautiful. It's this journey, but you want to live more. You just don't want to abandon things. You want to live more and to take more from life. You want to experience more and give and then flourish your full potential. If you do not follow your potential, if you don't feel it, that you're doing what you have to do, what just you can do with life, you will feel terrible. That's the feeling. But at the same time, there's the other side annoying you with that because they want to be respected as well. That's it. I have no answers for that yet, but I see you soon.